And we are back, another episode of Chris Hates Everything. I am your host, Chris. And what the F are we hating on today? Got a jam-packed show for you this evening. We're not going to be in your hair for too long, but we are going to be in your hair. So, that's just that on that. The dating market will always give us content to go over. Very seldom they're winners in the dating market. But who gives a fuck about that, right? Who gives a fuck about the winners in the dating market? Not I. Only want to talk about you losers.
Left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up, and apparently I got stood up.
My man waited 30 minutes for his date to arrive. If I tell you our reservations is at 8 o'clock, I'm going to, and I get there at 8, or if I get there I get there like 7:55, 7:50, check out the scene and shit like that, see who actually in this motherfucking place, make sure I don't do my due diligence before we get up in there. But if I'm waiting there's no way in fucking hell I am waiting until 8:30. No text, no call, and prior to beforehand, you're not being held up by nobody. They didn't come up, shoot the apartments up, none of that shit. The baby didn't get kidnapped, none of that shit. I need to be let known that you're being late. Let me know that shit before it's time to, meet, before the reservation. If it's at 8, you telling me at 7:30, 7:45, cool, I'm gonna be late. In this guy's case, she don't like this nigga, and we're gonna see why right now.
I don't know what to say. I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers. I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Cock it back. I just seen. Okay. This is interesting right here. Nigga, did you bring a backpack to a date? Why do you have this item? Why do you have a fucking JanSport on you? But you had the wherewithal to know that maybe you should bring flowers to this date. You brought the JanSport as well.
I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like.
First of all, those conversations in the beginning of, let's say you met her on a fucking dating website, right? And you guys are talking and shit like that. You should want to meet this person, or at least see this person on the FaceTime. You should want to see her on FaceTime like the moment you exchange your numbers. Like, if you can't get her on the FaceTime to see what the whole thing looks like in motion, that's a red flag. Not a red flag to leave, but it's a red flag to take note of. If she dodges those FaceTimes, caution. But it don't take no motherfucking 2 weeks to talk to no chick to get her to take her on a date, nigga. If she like you, she's gonna want to go out within the next weekend. If you meet her on a Monday, she's gonna want to meet you as soon as possible. Maybe Wednesday or maybe even Friday. That following Wednesday or Friday, one of the two, depending on where you guys are in proximity. This young man said it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I don't know if this is a black man. His hair is racially ambiguous. But I digress. Let's see what else he has to say.
I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day and the time. I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time.
You did, and even though this didn't, we having jokes right now, but even though this didn't go the way he wanted it to go, he should never lose that. Never lose that. I'm going to make the reservation. I'm going to bring the flowers and shit like that, because for the woman that really likes you and will appreciate that from you, she will love that shit. She will love that shit. A lot of times we get caught up in doing things for the wrong people, but we're just learning. He got a little gray in his beard, so he might have been learning, but we'll see.
I'm just looking for my person. I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me. I want to be somebody's husband someday, father.
Hold it. My man backed the camera out. He did this right here. Yeah. He did that. Did it again. I'll show you. That right there. He did that.
Trying to do everything that's right.
That's enough for you. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That might be a skit, but I don't care. Let's treat it as if it's a real thing. that man is probably not going to get dates for a long time, and hopefully he can recognize what dates are real dates and what dates are sympathy dates and content creator dates and shit like that. You content creator niggas, y'all would just date each other just to put it on tape and shit, to put it in front of people, to laugh at the hijinks of dating you. He's gonna have a tough time. He's gonna have a tough time. Broadcasting your L's as a man is never a good thing. Now your feed now, that man's timeline should look like all fucking weightlifting videos now. That's all it should be now, just weightlifting videos and shit like that. And going to the barber and maybe the optometrist because those glasses were horrendous. But who am I? Who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I? Anyway, what else do we got next? There is the trans people are they're doing their thing and stuff like that. They're fighting for their inclusion on all across the board and stuff like that. And I salute you guys and girls and guys too. I salute all you niggas for fighting for what you believe is right. A lot of times though, there's a thing with trans women trying to co-opt things that are that only like biological women do, and the crazy part is I feel bad even saying that shit. That's the type of the times we live in right now, where you can't say a biological woman or only a biological woman can have children or is able to have children. That sounds like mad disrespectful to the trans community, but I don't mean that to be disrespectful and stuff like that. I just seen a clip about this right here.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance.
Now, keep in mind that this is a trans woman, and she is, well, you'll see what she's saying right here, because it's a teaching moment. Let's see what she has to say.
For cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood.
Okay. Cis, if you don't know what cis means, it basically means someone who is biologically, who is identified as either male or female at the time of birth. Biologically, what you happen to be. So they're saying cis women or biological women do not have a monopoly on periods. Womanhood, they might have a little leeway on, but I kind of think that's weird too. But periods, I don't know if a trans woman can have a period. I don't think they have the insides that make up, having a period. Actually, and if we're gonna get graphic about it, where would that even occur on a trans woman's body? I sound ignorant, and I don't want to. I just want to make sense of this whole thing. I want to be able to rationalize this stuff. But if the shit sounds like fucking crock, if it sounds like a crock of shit, then it sounds like a crock of shit. Then we had to call a spade a spade, because these people have no problem with telling any and everybody how much they're wrong and all that stuff, and that's their right. But it should be a two-way street.
You don't. Okay, you don't own periods. You don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person. But as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep.
But who does it? I'm trying to be, respectful to this young woman's her argument, but at the same time, though, I beg the question: who does it belong to then? If it does not belong to them, if having periods, making babies, and stuff like that, and womanhood doesn't belong to cis women, it sounds silly. If it doesn't belong to them, who does it belong to? And on top of that, who is anyone to co-opt those things that are synonymous with cisgendered women? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand where that's coming from. I'm not even sure if I want to be educated on it, but I think it's something that we should point out that this the type of rhetoric that is out there. Do with it as you wish. But from from my standpoint, cisgender women, I don't even know if I'm saying that shit right, but I mean they can only ones who can experience periods. I've only in recorded history I've only heard of women, natural born women having periods. But it's a touchy subject. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody with my ignorance, but it just sounds kind of backwards. It's like you guys can't be trans and then have your own rules. You want to say no, we're actually this, and we want to kind of modify the rules and stuff like that. I mean, do what you gotta do. But it sounds like you in for a long fight. Especially from those women who believe that they're actually women. Anyway. What else do we got? Politics is interesting. I'm into politics. I try to keep abreast of it. I'm not old enough to where I'll pay more attention to my local politics, which is more important than who runs the country. To a huge extent. But I find these old white men very, very funny and scary at the same time. Check out Mitch McConnell, goof ass. Right here. Has no idea. This guy has no idea where the fuck he is. Look at him. I'm sure his POV is just all he see is rainbows and dogs with heads on their asses and shit like that. Just a dog, but just everything is in reverse and shit. The head is where the ass is and the ass is where the head is. That's what he's looking at. And the two bozos behind him have no idea what's going on. He's reading Bible scriptures from what it looks like. I don't know who the fuck these guys are anyway. But this piece of shit right here is, I don't want to call him a piece of shit, but he is. This is Mitch McConnell. I think this is Senator in Kentucky, I believe. He's having a total fucking how you on the computer and shit and just boot you off the server? Just booted him right off the server of fucking life. Look how long it takes for somebody to do something. Look at my man right here. Look at my man right here. We should fucking do something. I still have no idea what's going on. Shout out to the cameraman and get the concerned woman right here. Shout out to her, whoever this woman is, she's a hero. This guy in the back is usually people like us who just so happen, this nigga just left his office to get a sandwich and shit, and they just so happen to be doing this in the hallway. And he just happened to see this. What's going on over there? What happened to Senator McConnell? Nah, this nigga didn't even say anything. Look at him. Look at him. Bless his soul. Go ahead, John. Bless his heart. Hopefully he's okay. That piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's one of those dudes who fucked up a lot of what Obama couldn't. He's the reason why Obama couldn't do a lot of things when he was in office. So fuck that dude. But I hope he is okay. I don't want him to die or anything like that. That's fucking morbid and weird. But it's always fuck Mitch McConnell. Always and forever. There's a huge boxing match. There's a big ass boxing match. My nigga Bud Crawford and Earl Spencer got it on and shit like that. It went exactly how it went if you are a Bud Crawford fan or Terrence Crawford fan. And it did not go how you thought it would go if you are a Earl Spence fan. The early chatter on this fight was that, Crawford had Crawford might take the L in this one. But that was a long time ago. I've seen a couple of their fights, of each guy's fight. Nothing really stuck out to me as too spectacular or anything like that. I just know Bud got them hands, and he is that one. But Earl Spence is always that one too. He's been talked about for a long time, legend in the making. But let's see how it unfolded.
The jab. The jab. The uppercut. And the counter. The jab. The jab. The uppercut. And the counter. Right hook. The left, the right. The jab. The uppercut.
We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right.
The jab.
Fuck it.
The uppercut. And
There we
the
go.
counter. Right hook.
Boom,
The
boom,
left to right.
boom, boom,
Arrow
boom,
on inline skates.
boom, boom, and it was basically that. But for like 7 or 8 rounds. It's something. Earl Spence looked gassed. He looked like there was something going on with him. I hope that he is okay. He fought a good fight, even though he was getting his ass whooped. I'm not gonna hold you. He got his ass whooped the entire shit. I did not watch the first 2 rounds. I was playing the game, but the fight was was on next to me. I didn't watch the first 2 rounds, but apparently he won the first round. But then after that, it was just like watching somebody fight on the flight of steps, and you just have to wait until they hit the bottom before you can help them. The bottom was round 9 for Earl Spence. But shout out to Bud Crawford. He came out there with Eminem, which was interesting because you would think Eminem was up there to rap and shit like that, but then they had like the vocal track backing in, so they just walked in and shit like that. So that looked weird because you never seen that, because you see the rapper going busy and shit like that, Mike and shit like that, with a fucking boxer doing his motherfucking stoic shit, walking with his head all low and shit, like he ready to fuck some shit up. Not that. Him and Eminem just walked out, and then Eminem kind of like fell back before they even got halfway to the ring. So hopefully that was money well spent. Anyway.